All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Symphogear, Season 5, Episode 1. Season 5, the final season.
Final season.
I almost said final episode. No.
Yeah.
The beginning of the end. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we had some pretty interesting teasers from the previous episode.
We did.
The love beam also hit Miku. So, Hibiki and Miku, with the power of love, you will defeat God, the universe, and just everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Miku will no longer be just warming the bench.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. She's been a bench warmer up until now, but no more. No more.
Yes. Her sun and stars will return to her. Finally.
Of all of the comparisons that I would have expected.
Can you just imagine, like, Hibiki being like, moon of my life. Like, you can see it, right? Hibiki is so fucking strong at this point.
Oh, man.
She's a god slayer. She's like, holy shit, so huge. And go up to Miku and be like, yes,
right.
Cradle the frail Miku in her arms. But then Miku will be like, nah, I cradle you. Oh.
God damn it.
I love it.
Yes.
It's just written in the stars.
That's right. And that's probably
Message
where
to the
we're
name.
going to be going with this season. I get the feeling.
For sure.
Because, it's like, okay, you've dealt with the Illuminati now. What could you possibly have to deal with on planet Earth?
Well, invaders.
Sure, invaders,
Beyond
yes.
Another dimension.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, that's a great point.
And
we've had teleporting
to them.
And all the villains have had teleporting pretty much,
Right.
since season 2, or since after season 2. So, that would make
yeah.
sense. That's how they get to Earth. They just teleport. Yeah.
Today, we're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our lesbian Independence Day. and then they fucking go. Just all the girls into space. Kick God's ass.
That's right. Yeah.
We love people. We love each other. Hell
hold
yeah.
hands. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. Aha!
Okay.
We got ourselves
I like
a
it.
very well animated episode 1 of a new season with crazy action and bombastic powers and abilities. And a problem.
Right.
The custodians are already here, but there was one that was maybe set here to be the harbinger of the end or something in a sarcophagus, and they would rise up. And in some ways, the girls have helped that, if you think about it that way. Even though they destroyed the sarcophagus, who cares about the sarcophagus?
Right.
There's someone inside it.
Yeah,
and
we'll have to figure stuff out with that.
And though they're probably dead, there's got to be a reason why this thing, was powered to defend it.
I have two different, there are two wolves inside of me. One says that this is a cute anime girl. The other says that this is a relic. And then there's a third that says it's both at the same time. But,
isn't that just what Hibiki is?
Well, okay, that's fair. But as far as the way that this episode introduced us to this final season, I really like it because it didn't overload us, right? We got the cool hype stuff and everything. Okay, cool. We got teased at new characters, but they weren't really introduced. We just saw glimpses of them.
They have 3. That's the special number.
Yep. That's good. That's a good number, good solid number. But they don't even necessarily have to be antagonistic, and we're already seeing more personality from them than I would say is normal to get necessarily from a lot of Symphogear villains that we've seen recently.
Yeah.
The idea that they're just sitting back and watching. That makes sense. Observe,
Right.
if they know what the song people are, they don't want to get near that shit, right? And just see what happens.
Adam.
Yeah, exactly, right? But then also that little bit of banter between them, it very much reminded me of Kirika and Shirabe's introduction, right? Now,
they also don't
much shorter, but
right. They also don't need to tell us that much of who they are. Now, they did exposit about what their goals are to each other, which is hilarious. But that's Symphogear writing for you.
Yeah.
The idea though that they didn't need to tell us basically that they were remnants of the Illuminati. We knew based on the way that the exposition had been given to us through other characters.
Yep.
So they were there.
It would make sense for that to be who they are.
Yeah, they were there to just be themselves, and we can tell that their leader, seemingly their leader, is someone that is loving life.
Yeah.
Doing spin out donuts in their car
To come to a stop, because why not?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like, cool, awesome, right? But then,
thrill seeker.
But then specifically saying that she's in Nevada, and then she gets to a place where there's like some shit going on. If she is actually going into Area 51, oh my god, that would be amazing. Like, because especially with all the shit that they've been giving America.
If we're gonna get into alien stuff. And
oh
the
yeah,
US,
totally, right? You know, yeah. Then we got to do that.
We gotta.
So I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
I'm absolutely here for it.
But yeah, we had some really sweet stuff with Miku and Hibiki. I'm really glad that we did get that. It was kind of awkward the way we went from the here's the fight, so you're engaged,
right?
But then quickly cut away from it once they lose. Which would I get it. We don't
right,
want to immediately have the loss be subverted by them just hopping out of the ice like it was nothing, even though that's literally what happened.
Yeah.
So
it's like classic Symphogear move of like, these people, these girls, they can't be defeated. Oh no, they were defeated, but they weren't actually. Like,
let's edit away from this so they feel like there's some tension. It's like,
right. Yeah.
Kind of killed it.
Well, and also like Hibiki busting out of the ice, I understand that as like yes, she is a little monster. She's stronger than the rest of them, right? But then it's like, oh no, everybody did. So
it's nothing special. It's okay.
Yeah.
But having Miku and Hibiki time in the very beginning of the final season is very important structurally to setting up what is probably going to be the end of this series.
Right.
Miku and Hibiki finally being free to just be together. There's no shenanigans, no bullshit.
Yes.
Neither of them are going to die.
No. Although there was that one random thing that, like, when, Miku talking with Hibiki about, like, what if it was me?
I know. Yeah,
so what if it was me
to set up the drama at around episode 6 or 7.
Right. But it's also one of those things of, like, what if it was me who needed saving? Do you remember the events of season 1? like,
and some of season 2.
Yeah, and then what if it was me that was you needed to save people from? Season 2,
yeah.
like
it basically was it's been 4 seasons thus far, getting through us here. It's been really cool that now we're here. Awesome.
Yep. Right. And I love the idea of that conversation happening, but I just found it so funny that like there weren't any responses from Hibiki of like, don't remind me of those times, Like, I'm glad that we don't have to deal with that anymore.
but the idea that maybe that could be foreshadowing of something where if Hibiki was the one doing the damage, if Hibiki was the one that needed saving, kind of like what happened at the end of season 4, which I think was very clearly foreshadowing something that will be followed up on in this season. This was another, in some ways I would say even like an even more appreciated kind of foreshadowing, in that it feels just indirect enough that I'm like, oh, it's not necessarily foreshadowing for that, but I get more of the vibe that it's actually foreshadowing for Hibiki, because Hibiki is Miku is asking these questions.
Right.
But it was Hibiki that kind of had the one of those questions in particular was one that made her go, made her get really nervous.
Right.
And she just had an experience recently where she was the one doing all the chaos and stuff like that. So that might still be a bit unsettling for her to remember.
Right. And I think it's...
if she remembers it at all.
Sure. And regardless, I think it's something that can be good to bring up, because a lot of Hibiki's conflicts and struggles in seasons has been just, how do I deal with fighting the enemies?
The outside,
Yeah, when they're people too.
Right.
And I don't want to fight people, I want to hold hands with people, right? And so then naturally that would get even more problematic when it's like what if it was not just a person in general, but
your person.
Your person,
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not sure why Miku said that, but I'm very excited to see that being explored in this season. You know.
Yeah. Don't worry, everything will be Fine. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The transformation sequence that we got with Hibiki, holy shit. Like, we've seen some transformation sequences before in Symphogear, and I expected the visuals to, like, you know, be upgraded and everything. But damn, that was awesome.
That was
that was, like, I don't think I've ever
good.
been this excited to be like, okay, let's see all the different, like, Symphogear users' new transformation sequences. Like, there's when it's a new transformation, you know, they get some new power or whatever.
Right.
But there's the revisiting with the season. Over the course of the first few episodes, we're going to, you know, do like one transformation per episode or something.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see all the other characters'
Same.
transformations.
Having a flashback, though, to potentially the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
The fact that there was a transmission from the Earth to the moon, making the moon basically be imbued potentially with the curse of Balal that would make it so that human beings could not
understand each other,
understand with each other, and yet this guy who was associated with Fine put it into place. Maybe.
Well, so there's
a couple ways to look at this.
There's a few ways to look at this.
Yeah.
One, that could just be some Joe Blow, right?
And it's nobody.
And it's nobody.
It's just a servant of Fine, and Fine was a member of a
and it's the I'm sorry, Fine, you know, like, you know, we can't, like, I can't, it's too urgent, I can't let you know what's happening or whatever, so it just does it, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also the possibility that they could potentially be an item. Now, maybe this is a bit out there, but what if that was actually God? Because Fine was constantly trying to get Senpai to notice her. And that is the person who did it. So if she knows somehow that God did it, and like...
Yeah, I thought about that because I made that as a joke earlier, but I was thinking about it, and I was realizing that if it came from Earth, it doesn't make sense for that to be our God being.
That's fair.
Like, I can go back and check it here, but I'm pretty sure it's a beam, not some kind of destructive, like, laser or what have you, but something that goes from Earth, to the moon.
And lights up the glyphs and powers it up, seemingly.
It seems like it lights up specifically the part that was removed by Varen and all them in Season 2.
Right.
It basically activates that whole place there.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but it's very similar. And, we no longer have the time or the words to fully explain ourselves. Forgive me, Fine.
Oh wait, maybe this isn't actually the Curse of Balal being done. Maybe the Curse of Balal has already been done, and he's now like doing something to try and make sure that Earth will be protected. Or the Earth will be protected because it was a jamming signal or something, right? That's I think what he said.
What? No.
Like a jamming field.
No, he said something about network.
The network jammer.
The network jammer. Oh.
Yeah. So the network jammer, maybe that's the Curse of Balal, right? And it sort of like jams the signals of like people so that they can't like you know, share the same language or whatever. Or maybe it's something where it's the Curse of Balal has already happened. That's why he's like, we no longer have the time or even the words to fully explain ourselves.
Yeah, no longer is a bit of a weird kind of word choice to extrapolate meaning from, because it could mean a couple different things.
It could just mean it's too late or something happened and now that is not something we have anymore.
Right.
But if it's something else, if it's not the Curse of Balal, maybe it's something that's like a defensive field to basically make sure that Earth isn't going to be interfered with. And then that's how you don't have something where the people that would have been connected to the ancient civilizations, the custodians or whatever, they haven't really messed with Earth since then.
Okay.
You know, and then maybe if they destroy the moon to break the Curse of Balal or something like that,
in some ways,
changes.
In some ways, think about it. What was Fine's first things trying to do is
destroy the moon. Yeah.
And in some ways,
to get the attention of God.
Yeah. And what this guy's doing here is transmitting something to the station on the moon that then Ver uses later in Season 2. So this could have been something of where it's not the moon she was trying to destroy. She was trying to destroy this installation. And they're trying to make a callback all the way to Season 1.
Right.
And saying that
this
was the connective tissue there.
I like it. Like the Fine, as far as as far as the stuff that we've gotten from Symphogear, antagonists over the course of the series, season 2, my favorite as far as the personal connection to the antagonists,
I
right?
agree, yeah.
Season 1, by far my favorite as far as the lore of the antagonists, right? Like Fine's just cool and using, Ryoko to, or whatever her name was, to, parallel things and all that stuff. Miss Chocolate Sundae ice cream hair or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, the black arts.
Black arts.
Yeah, that's right. I made that way too legible. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see how this gets explored here, because that was also just a fantastic cold open to a new season. That was real good.
So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.